Now, you are now tuned in to Radio 103.9 New York.
Radio 103.9, Tom Joyner Mornings, New York's best mix of R&B. And in the studios, the luscious ladies of SWV. I'm just saying, y'all. I mean, we got it glammed up. You guys look great.
You gotta be cute.
Thank you.
Like what? 1 a.m.? No.
Right. So there was this 1990 when this first jumped off?
1992.
1992 in New York.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Home of the greatest.
New York.
So which one of you thought that the career would be like this? Like it would be a lifetime of you had these string of hits, you have TV shows and all. Did anybody?
You?
Never.
I'm like,
No.
None of us.
Who wanted it to be a long time career
us.
thing?
We did, but we didn't really know what to expect. We was just having fun, going in the studio, acting a fool. We didn't know, but it just took off.
We just wanted to be able to meet the other celebrities that were out.
Like who? Like who did you want to meet when y'all first?
New Edition,
when y'all first
really.
got in?
New Edition.
Just New Edition.
That was it. Y'all was like New Edition.
That was
Which
it.
one?
Bobby Brown.
All of them.
I
Really?
love Ronnie and Ralph. I still love
I was
Ralph.
going to say, can Ralph get some love?
I love Ralph.
Wait a minute,
Everybody
nobody
loves
mentioned
Ralph.
Michael
I
though.
still love Ralph and Ronnie.
Ain't nobody mentioned Michael Bivens.
It's only 3 of us.
Dang. So, I mean, so guys, you actually have lived a life where dreams do come true. I mean, you kind of like, some people say, if you can visualize it, you can think about it, it can happen. So you guys have lived that life.
Yeah.
What part about that, when did it hit you that was, that was like true? Like you actually had a dream as a kid and you actually lived it, anybody. When did it hit you like, wow? My life has been
people started like really like chasing it. Like for me, we went on like a promotional tour. We were still living in the Bronx. I was still living in the Bronx, and I came home, and the kids were like knocking on my door, and I'm like, I've been living here how long? Now you're gonna like stand outside and watch me? So it was different. They didn't see me as Cheryl anymore. I was Coco from SWV.
Wow.
So
For me, I was, my godmother, who's deceased now, she would always send me to the store with food stamps, and back then they had the little
The paper.
the paper stamps. And so we had
That
a
ain't
number
funny.
one. She never looked
I
at.
thought about the little rubber. Remember the rubber coins? Go ahead.
So I would. That was my job. I would go to Fedco, get some food, and come down. But we had a number one record. So when I went up to take the food, it was so many people like waiting for me in front of the building and on the floor. I was like, what is going on here? So at that moment, I was like, wow, my life is really changing. I was just going shopping.
Man,
Yeah.
okay, wait a minute, Taj. You go. Everybody else here.
Well, you know what? I didn't want to change. I stayed in my old apartment for like 2 years after we came out. I refused to leave, but I still would take my clothes to the corner laundromat to wash them. Normally, I would put my clothes in the dryer and go back to my house and sit there and wait until they dry. But one time I came back in my underwear. Some of my clothes were missing. Like, now it's time to go.
Wait a minute. I think I made my own self hot listening to that story.
Thank God.
So you guys have, you've weathered the storms, been together. On the reality show, we kind of see the challenges.
Yeah.
But it's like a marriage. How did you guys stay together? I mean, so many groups just don't do it. What is the secret?
Well, we separated.
we didn't stay together.
But you know what I'm saying, basically. But
together.
usually when you know how it was the groups. Once it breaks up, it don't come back together.
Yeah.
It's like people kind of like really can't do it. But you guys kind of.
Sometimes you have to divorce to get back together. Our first marriage only lasted 6 years, but after we separated and we all went to counseling, divorce counseling technically, we came back together. Now we've been married for 10 years. And
Wow.
counting. So
Now-
sometimes it works.
And after that, after you break up, sometimes when you come back, you can actually be more honest. Is that true?
Honest, absolutely.
And we know what we have to do now. You're older, you're more mature. You have to work. It's more of a job now. We're not just here to meet celebrities.
It's a job.
And this doesn't mean the same thing it meant back then. Like this is
my job.
This is our life. This is how we eat, and you have to take some things serious.
What's is there a you guys have, I mean, just so many hits. is there a song that you do that still gets you, or is it kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, is there a song that when you perform, you guys still feel a certain way about it, or not
when I
necessarily?
perform, I try to feel them all because the audience can tell if you just up there singing, just doing what you do.
And they love every
I try to get into
That's
it when
true.
whenever I'm up there singing.
You guys have the kind of songs where we know all the words.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
The audience,
And-
we love that.
Yeah, and ironically, it's almost like, with the New Edition, it's almost the same thing. You guys fit in that
Yeah.
same, like that generation of artists. You not only like that was your jam,
Right.
You knew every word, and it kind of
You
like
could understand every word.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I don't know what this stuff
Yeah,
is.
you could understand us.
They need a dictionary, like a word Bible.
Translator.
Yeah,
And so
translator.
what do you when you look at the music today? What is the difference? Like from artists and stuff, especially with R&B, like a female artist or a group. What's the difference? Or do you can't even figure it out? You know what I mean? Like when you say, "Wow, when we came out, it was this way." Now, how would you say it's different?
I was,
Like,
go ahead.
like when we came out, like you had to sing for real. Like when we went to the label, they wanted to hear us sing a cappella because they wanted to know that we could do that. And like today, lip syncing is the thing. When you see them, they're not really singing; they're lip syncing.
I don't think a lot of the producers are really as creative as they were back then. At all. Like, I think our ear has been programmed to just like bad music.
Man,
I mean, everybody have their thing that they love or whatever,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about quality over quantity. And I just feel like that 90s era and before that was just quality music, and you don't get that anymore. Now you can make a stupid record and some of these records are so dumb, and we just support it. We like, okay, what the hell are we doing?
I don't support it.
That's true.
It's just bad when you have really talented artists and we have to be in the studio like, wow, is the world gonna like this? Or do we really have to make a song that's really stupid, that's
Dumbed down.
meaningless? Do we have to sing less? Do we have to tone ourselves down? It's just bad when we can't even go in there without that mind frame. But we do what we do, and you like it. If you don't, then like garbage.
Well, God, like that. No, doing my show, I get a chance to play like the classics a lot, and it's interesting how you're right. It's almost like the '90s, almost maybe the last. Not I won't say the last, but when you play, like if you play a classic. You the next song you play has to be right. Or else it really will show how inadequate it is. And you're right, it is interesting how the 90s kind of like, after the 90s, things changed a bit,
Music was simple.
So let me ask you this, though. When you guys were, in addition to New Edition, who did you guys look up to vocally and like, when you were coming up that you like? Old school.
Before New Edition?
Yeah, like old school.
Oh, the OJs for me. Jackie Wilson, Ruth Brown. I loved a lot of jazz artists. Stacey Lattisaw.
Wow.
Those people were like,
and I think that's like our generation. I'm with y'all a little older, but we had those people. I think the new generation is weird. I don't think they really do that.
I know.
I don't think
with
they
mama
paying us-
listen to
they
music
don't
on
study.
Sunday and
Yeah.
right.
They don't. They don't study where they came
at
from.
all. It is not many
It's
people
not left.
that came before us that we can't recognize and be like, wow, she was in that group such and such. Or it's important to us. That's homework for us. And for a lot of people to not know, we cannot do what we do and not know certain people. It's
Right.
embarrassing.
It was a part of it. It was
But
a part of
it
it.
doesn't. It's talent, real talent doesn't matter today. So they
Yeah.
can go in there and do whatever. Like when we were coming up, like for me, I studied Patti LaBelle, Shirley Murdoch, and try to make it my own because you want to be known as a vocalist. Today it's just like whatever.
So guys, now SWV, you're doing it. You're still in the game. What can we look forward to? Tell us about some new stuff going on. Where you gonna be? What's going on?
We have the new album dropping still, February 5th.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're excited
Yes,
about
Lord.
that. And we have the new single out, MCE, Man Crush Every Day. And that's a cute, SWV classic with a twist of the new school.
Okay, we'll play that tonight.
Yeah, that's
All right.
hot.
Good songs.
Yeah.
Good songs. We trying to make people fall in love again.
Well, SWV, we're in love with you.
Thank you.
And you guys, again, you know, I think seeing you together and hearing your music. I played the new Johnny Gill the other night with New Edition.
Oh, that is
and I was
so
thinking,
hot.
I
like,
love that song.
right. It reminds you of like going back.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, like, the '90s groups. You guys are out. You're out there, so you know it.
Yeah.
There's a market. It's
Yeah.
like it's your time. I think, you know, like
I
we
like
talked
to say SW. We start a lot of trends. They don't like to give us, you know.
They really
They don't.
That
but
is true.
SWV, they see that SWV came back and we can do it.
Yes.
And we're doing it. So a lot of people, a lot of groups, they got back together and they're doing. I'm not saying New Edition because they've been doing their thing,
Yes.
but there's some others that have come back, and I really feel like they watched SWV and it's like, oh, they can do it. We can do it too. I'm not mad, but you know, it's a good thing.
But that's not. You guys always started trends, though. That's
Yes,
not. You know,
yes,
you
yes.
think about a whole bunch of trends you started throughout these 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
SWV, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For hanging downtown with me, and I wish you the best. Okay.
Thank you.
That's SWV right here on the all new Radio 103.9.